I got Bucko fever for the Pirates minor leagues. I want to see what they can do, and that's the future right now. So hopefully we're 2 years away from potentially fielding a team that can really compete out there.
Well, I think somebody who's maybe interested in the symmetry of time would tell you that it was 2011's draft where they took Garrett Cole, frontline starter, and 2 years later, Garrett Cole was helping a pitching staff on a team that won 94 games. So I guess what you're sort of getting at here in a roundabout way is make sure you take Jack Leiter or Kumar Rocker, and then, 2 years later, one of those two will be headlining a rotation that helps you get back to the postseason? Is that what we're looking at?
That's what I'm looking at, and I'm wondering why all these mock drafts and all these people out there have the Pirates taking the shortstop. I don't get it.
What about Henry Davis now, this catcher out of Louisville?
They do need a catcher.
Hammer and Hank.
They do need a catcher, that's for sure.
So what would you take if I could guarantee you?
Leiter.
If I could guarantee you 10 years of a catcher, he'll stay for 10 years because they'll sign him to one of those kind of team-friendly deals. Or 6 years of a really good starting pitcher, what would you take?
6 years of Leiter, 100%. I like him because of the pedigree. If you had asked me this time last year, I'm all in on Kumar Rocker. But I think
well, you're fickle.
Yeah,
you're flitting from player to player here, Richie. You're a
give me one of those two.
You are.
I don't really care right now.
You're a prisoner
I want a
of the
starting
moment.
pitcher. I want it.
Well, you're a prisoner of the moment. That's what you are.
Here's what worries me: how the game of baseball is changing a little bit. That the pitchers might only go 5 innings. So the game might change here and evolve in the next few years.
Yeah, I don't really see. It's funny. I don't see that you mentioned that. I don't see a shift back to workhorse pitchers going 7, 8, 9 innings. Like I think Pandora's out of the box as far as pitchers are now going to have shorter and shorter outings, and only the really dominant guys are going to be given permission by their teams, or kind of the leeway, I should say, is the better word, to go deep into ball games. So that just further strengthens the notion, right, that if you're picking between a starting pitcher or a can't-miss position player, if starting pitcher is inherently devalued, you at least have to think about some of these other guys.
Yeah, because they've missed on shortstops, it looked like, right? I mean, you got Newman.
Well, they should
you got Newman. He's pretty good.
Yeah, take another athletic shortstop. You know what? Projectable shortstop is just code for we think the guy's a great athlete who can be a great baseball player, and we're going to find a position for him to play. Like the number of 6'2" or 6'3" shortstops that stick at shortstop is pretty few and far between, right? A-Rod until he ran into Derek Jeter, who also happened to be 6'3", and had about Colin Moran's range at the position, but got to keep it because he was Mr. Yankee. I mean, I just the stockpiling of these athletes up the middle is nice in theory, but in practice for the Pirates, it's been pretty hugely disappointing. So I don't blame any fan of this team if they're hearing about like a Jordan Lawler and getting a little gun shy, even if he's a completely different player than, say, a Kevin Newman or a Cole Tucker.
Yeah. And, Nick Gonzalez from last year, right? Is he going to be your second baseman in the future?
I lose track.
Yeah,
I lose track. There's so many of them.
Yeah, so, all right, we're going to take a break, but I want to get your prediction on the Penguins. We're going to talk about the Penguins here moving forward, and also Steelers minicamp. Give us a call, 412-575-2600 is the number. Right back.